Hey, this is Brooke, functional medicine dietitian specializing in fertility, and this is the Fertility Dietitian Podcast, where I help you uncover the barriers that are preventing you from optimizing your fertility and teach you how to work with your body to finally take home a healthy baby. Each week, I will be diving into different topics on fertility and sharing my perspective on physiology, metabolic health, nutrition, and lifestyle approaches that have helped hundreds of couples get pregnant even after years of heartache. My goal is to empower you with the knowledge you need to take back control of your fertility. Happy listening. Welcome back to the Fertility Dietitian Podcast. Today, we're talking about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in the fertility space: blood flow. Not just to your ovaries and uterus, but also to the sperm-producing tissue in men. Because here's the thing, if blood flow is sluggish, then oxygen, nutrients, antioxidants, and hormones are sluggish in being able to get where they need to go. That affects egg quality, uterine lining, and sperm health. But the good news? There are simple, holistic ways to support circulation with food and movement and small lifestyle shifts that you can start today. So I want you to picture your reproductive system like a garden. For a garden to thrive, it needs rich soil, good drainage, sunlight, and water. In your body, blood flow is the delivery system for the oxygen, the nutrients, the hormones, the immune cells. So for women with ovaries, healthy blood flow helps build a lush, receptive uterine lining and supports developing follicles as they mature into high-quality eggs. For men with testes, circulation delivers nutrients and antioxidants to the testicles, which help protect sperm from oxidative stress. One of the biggest drivers of sperm DNA damage and reduced motility is oxidative stress or damage. We also know that in men, issues like erectile dysfunction can be an early sign of cardiovascular problems. Basically, a red flag that blood vessels aren't functioning well. Cool, right? So when we support vascular health, we're not only supporting heart health, we're often supporting sperm health and sexual function too. So let's talk directly to the males for a minute here. Sperm production is very sensitive to oxygenation, temperature changes, and oxidative stress. So poor circulation and overheating can actually impair sperm concentration, motility, and morphology. Remember that morphology is the shape of the sperm and really speaks to the quality of the sperm, like the DNA fragmentation marker. A few key points from research include oxidative stress is strongly linked to reduced sperm motility, sperm DNA fragmentation, and higher miscarriage risk. Moderate physical activity is associated with better semen parameters, higher sperm count, motility, and in some studies, improved pregnancy and live birth rates, likely through better circulation and reduced oxidative stress. And then a note on the temperature. So testicular temperature really matters. Tight underwear and chronic heat exposure can raise testicular temperature. And these are all associated with lower sperm concentration and overall sperm health. So when we talk about blood flow in this episode, I want you to hear this is not just a female fertility thing. This is definitely a couple level circulation conversation. All right, so let's go on into the kitchen, my favorite place to start talking about how we can improve fertility as a whole. But when we're talking about circulation, we're thinking about beets and other nitrate-rich veggies. Beets are really rich in dietary nitrates, which your body can convert into nitric oxide, a signaling molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen. So as you can imagine, that improves the flow of the blood through those vessels. Multiple trials and meta-analysis have shown that nitrate-rich foods like beetroot can improve endothelial function and reduce blood pressure, which are signs of just overall healthier vascular function, better blood flow. Better vascular function means better delivery of nutrients and oxygen to the uterus, the ovaries, and the testes. So you can use beets roasted, pickled, blended into smoothies. The juice does have benefits, but I recommend getting the full beet as much as you can for the overall benefits. So beets, definitely adding in more beets is great for both of you. The next food to think about is pomegranate. Pomegranate is loaded with polyphenols that support nitric oxide and protect blood vessels from oxidative damage. Animal and preclinical data show that pomegranates can actually influence uterine blood flow and myometrial, which is the uterine muscle function, and supports a healthy uterine environment. So there's also some early research looking at pomegranate's antioxidant profile and how that may also be supporting both male and female reproduction via oxidative stress pathways, which is cool. So pomegranates are definitely helpful for overall blood flow and reproductive health as well. The next food is berries. Things like blueberries and raspberries and blackberries are really high in polyphenols as well as anthocyanins. And these antioxidants or food properties support endothelial function and microvascular health. So more recent systemic reviews of randomized trials suggest that berry consumption can improve markers of macro and micro vascular function, which is exactly what we want for pelvic and testicular blood flow. They can also help buffer oxidative stress, which is key to support overall health of and quality of eggs and sperm health. So berries also supporting with circulation. And then last but not least, dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard are rich in folate, magnesium, vitamin K. And these nutrients are needed for red blood cell production and oxygen transport. So this supports overall blood quality and tissue oxygenation for the uterus, the ovaries, the testes. And think about sauteing greens, putting greens in smoothies, adding a handful to your scrambled eggs, and getting them in throughout. So another note on iron as a nutrient, we want to be thinking about animal foods, especially our red meats and dark meat poultry, to support iron, which is also a big part of red blood cell production and oxygen transport. Iron regulation is a very complex topic, so I strongly recommend going back to listen to my whole podcast episode in season 1 on iron regulation, because this is a big piece of circulation and overall fertility health as well. All right, so those are the main foods to think about. The next thing that we want to think about for supporting blood flow is hydration and minerals. So healthy circulation isn't just about blood vessels, it's also about blood volume and viscosity of the blood. So dehydration can reduce plasma volume and increase blood viscosity, which can impair circulation. Studies in exercise and hydration show that when people are not adequately hydrated, plasma volume drops and blood becomes thicker, whereas electrolyte-rich fluids better maintain that plasma volume and normalize viscosity. So this is why I talk about mineral-rich hydration, adding a pinch of good quality salt, not salt that's been bleached and processed to take other minerals out, but sea salt or even trace minerals to your water. It can be a helpful way to get more of those electrolytes in. Rotating in coconut water or homemade electrolyte drinks can be a good option. Thinking of things like bone broth is very hydrating and mineral-rich also. These options support circulation, blood pressure, and overall reproductive blood flow as well. Okay, so mineral-rich hydration is definitely your friend for supporting circulation. Next, we have to talk about movement. So movement and lifestyle is really where couples can make a big, low-cost change. Might be high cost on figuring out how to fit it into your schedule, but low cost overall to get that movement in when we're thinking about dollars. Gentle, consistent movement for both men and women is going to be helpful. Moderate physical activity improves vascular health and is associated with better sperm parameters and overall reproductive outcomes. Thinking about walking, light jogging, yoga, Pilates, dancing in your kitchen. For women, we always have to strike that balance between making sure her body's feeling safe enough and has enough energy to exercise. But gentle movement is typically going to be really helpful. Even things like stretching can improve blood flow. If you tend to sit when you're working, standing up on occasion or getting up about every hour to use the restroom, fill your water can support blood flow as well. So you don't need intense training. We actually see in the data that very intense regimens can sometimes stress the system overall for the reasons that I mentioned, as far as overusing energy and increasing or decreasing the feeling of safety in the body. Moderate activity really hits the sweet spot as long as you're eating enough consistently for both egg and sperm health. Another thing to think about when we're thinking about supporting the pelvic flow, blood flow for both men and women, is clothing. So for women, constantly wearing very tight waistbands and shapewear around the pelvis may restrict lymphatic and venous return. We don't have robust trials on this, but we definitely see from a circulation perspective that giving your abdomen and your hips breathing room is really supportive. And for men, we do have more direct data showing that men who wear mostly loose underwear, like boxers, have higher sperm concentration and total sperm count compared with those wearing tight underwear, likely due to scrotal temperature. But as that blood flow is restricted, temperature increases. We also see that the looser underwear and avoiding heat from things like saunas, hot tubs, and testicles support that blood flow also. So for women, avoid constant compression over the abdomen and the pelvis if you're working on supporting circulation. And for men, think boxers over briefs and avoid prolonged heat directly to the groin, and make sure that you're pairing those things with nourishing lifestyle changes as well. All right. So something else to think about for circulation are castor oil packs. All right. So castor oil packs are a very traditional therapy used in many holistic and functional medicine circles to support lymphatic drainage, local circulation, and pelvic comfort. We see reduction in inflammation, improved lymph flow over the liver, uterus, and even in reduction of fibroid use. Okay, so we ideally see castor oil use before ovulation, which reduces things like pelvic tension, better digestion, more relaxation. Do this with guidance because where you place a castor oil pack can make a difference. A lot of my clients are doing it over their liver. Some of them are doing it over their uterine environment or their pelvic area at certain times of the cycle. But overall, this can be a really gentle support for overall circulation and supporting detox pathways, which definitely improves circulation as well. So to sum it up, here's what we want to think about. There's no one single food, single supplement, or single habit that magically fixes blood flow or fertility overnight, as we know. So what moves the needle is really small, realistic shifts done consistently. So doing things like adding beets and pomegranates and berries and getting your dark greens in is all really helpful. Drinking your mineral-rich fluids throughout the day is going to be helpful. Going on walks together as a couple can be helpful as well. Loosening tight clothing is going to be helpful for both of you. Layering in mindful practices like gentle abdominal massage, stretching as it feels aligned, and castor oil packs as appropriate for you are all going to be safe options. Every time you do these things, you're telling your body that you're safe, you're nourished, you're worth the energy that it takes to build a life. And the message repeated over time is really powerful for your circulation and your egg and your sperm health, as well as your overall nervous system and ability to conceive. So remember, small shifts done consistently are really where the magic happens. If you found this episode helpful or insightful, please share it. If you're looking for a deeper dive for you on an individual level, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fertility Dietitian Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave a review to let me know what topics you want more of or less of. If you want to keep learning, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out my website for more info on my private coaching program, Master Your Fertility, or my membership community, Fertility Blueprint. And don't forget my digital store. Come say hi on YouTube and Instagram. See you in the next episode.